this piece of hair doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Okay, chill, chill. Hey guys, what's up? It's Lauren. So today I have a super fun DIY because it is springtime and I'm so happy. So I was in the mood to do something fun and custom and bright and spring colors and just something really fun for spring. And this DIY is so easy. There's not a lot of effort involved at all. My only tip is use gloves while you're using dye because I have blue fingerprints now and that's cute and all for spring, you know, being colorful, but I'm not about that life. So make sure you use gloves for this DIY. And this DIY is super affordable for everyone because you can use any type of canvas sneaker. It doesn't have to be a Converse. I just had an extra pair lying around, so I figured that I would kind of just DIY them and see what kind of came out with them. How they turned out. Either way, I hope you guys enjoy this DIY and we can just hop right in.
You're going to need either a colored or white pair of canvas sneakers, bleach if the shoes are colored, a plastic bucket or container, some rubber gloves, and a color or two of dye. So I'm just going to start by removing the laces from both shoes because we want to keep those normal, and then lay down some garbage bags or a protective surface for the ground. Next, go ahead and fill the bucket or container with bleach, and I added a little bit of water so that the shoes would sit fully submerged in the container, but you don't necessarily have to dilute the bleach. Now go ahead and submerge the entire canvas part of the shoe into the bleach, and don't worry about the rubber or metal parts. These parts will be completely unaffected by the bleach. So depending on the color of the shoe, the time in the bleach is going to vary. So for these bright aqua ones, I left them in for about 2 hours, but with a lighter color, it'll definitely be less. So just keep checking on them periodically every 20 minutes or so until they're a lighter version of what you started with, or completely white if your shoe started out as a lighter color. And then you can either give them a good rinse in the sink or in the bathtub until the bleach is washed out, or throw them in the washer with a tiny bit of soap and then let them hang out overnight to dry, or throw them in the washer on high heat for about an hour. Now on to the ombreing. So this is where you're going to start the DIY if your shoes are already white or a lighter color. So I'm going to go ahead and add some dye pigment and water to my container. And I already had some tester dye in this measuring cup, so go ahead and move that into the big container and fill with water so that the shoes can be fully submerged. And make sure to only add a tiny bit of dye powder to start because we're going to add more later on to make the ombre. So I let the shoes soak in the super diluted dye mix for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to go ahead and add some more dye pigment to the water to make a more pigmented and darker mix. I'm also going to transfer the mix over into a taller and skinnier juice container so that I can dip the shoe in deeper. To make the first gradation of ombre, I'm just going to submerge about 2/3 of the shoes and kind of bob it up and down in the mix so we don't have any harsh lines. And because the water is more pigmented, this should take a little bit less time, so I did this for about 3 minutes on each shoe. And to make the third level of gradation for the ombre, add some more dye powder to the mix, give it a stir, and do the same bobbing method on the first third of the shoe to give it that final darkest level of ombre. And I did this again for about 3 minutes to make sure it was super dark. Once you're done, you're just going to let the shoe sit with the wet dye applied for 3 to 4 hours to let the dye set before either washing the dye out until the water runs clear or throwing them in the wash without soap. And then just let those dry either in the dryer on high heat for about an hour or overnight. Once they're dry, you're ready to relace and decorate if you choose to. So I just added a few little studs on one of the shoes for a little bit of extra cuteness. And also for the different shoe colors and different colors of dye, the times of how long to submerge the shoe is going to be different for everyone. So the methods are all going to be the same, but just keep an eye on how the colors are reacting and you'll be good to go.
this DIY, and I'm so excited to see what you guys do with it, with your own colors and adding studs or like ribbons or stuff like that, just to make them really, really fun and make them your own, which is what DIY is all about and why I love it so much. Sorry, Lauren, no one asked you for a speech on your philosophical love for DIY. So anyways, if you do try this DIY out, make sure you send me a picture on either Twitter @LauraDIY or use the hashtag LauraDIY on Instagram so I can check them out, and then I usually do like little features of your guys' project on Instagram as well. So make sure you are following me on all my social medias, which are in the down bar below. I was like, where are they? Oh god, I forget. So yeah, they're all in the down bar below. And make sure you're subscribed. I put out DIYs every Sunday and then other fun videos during the week. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next video. Love you, pretty little Lauras.